brave souls who are running the Dublin Marathon this weekend, the best of luck, and a word to the wise, don't get the Vaseline. Now, I know you're all wondering who our Dunmaurice boy is, and we're going to get to him in just a moment. But first, there's a photograph over here, which I think you will all instantly recognise. It's a very famous picture postcard shot by John Hind on his travels around Ireland, and it's become an iconic representation of what are now called the olden days. And this gentleman here is Peter Kelly. He's done something really quite remarkable with the old John Hind pictures. Peter, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming in to join us today. Now, you grew up in California.
I did.
So why John Hind and you?
Well, my father, I grew up in California. My father grew up in Roscommon,
Yes.
Baladerin. And he immigrated with my mother to Los Angeles, California in the early 1950s. And I was a child of the 1960s.
Sure.
And my father would go back to Ireland often in the 1960s when I was a kid. And he would send back these gorgeous photographs, these postcards of John Hind.
And when he passed away, was that when you discovered a pile of these?
He passed away in 2015, and I was living in London at the time,
Sure.
and I came to visit in Dublin, and I was at the George Street Arcade.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was sort of browsing through there, and I came across a stack of postcards, old postcards, and there was a stack of John Hind postcards in a rubber band.
Yeah, they're so iconic, yeah.
Opened it up, everything just came flooding back, all of my positive memories of my childhood, positive memories of my father, and I thought, I gotta do something with this.
And with that, you found yourself travelling around Ireland with the original postcards and trying to capture the image now, which is fascinating.
Right. Yeah.
So if we begin with O'Connell Street John Hind world and O'Connell Street Paul Kelly world, this is what happens. So when you see O'Connell Street then and now side by side here, what's jumping out at you?
More buses.
Yeah, then, yeah, that's mad, yeah.
Can you believe it? And the colors, you know, he had a way of saturating a lot of the colors to bring the image out, make it more intense, so it stood out on a
the pillars now, the spire, and you know, there's all these changes. But let's move around the country a bit, because we go to Kerry to Slay Head, and again, it's the before and after. Not a massive change there.
Really, no, except for the thatch roof.
Yes, of course.
But to take this photograph, I went to a house that was on the hill that looked down on top of this, knocked on the door to ask permission.
Yes.
And of course, this lovely couple asked me in for tea.
Yes, one of many cups.
Buckets.
Okay.
I had a lot of tea.
I can imagine.
But it was great, because the Irish are so friendly and welcoming and kind, and it was a pleasure.
You had to find the spot that John Hind, essentially, because you wanted to recreate it as close to the real thing. So when you get to Kate Carney's cottage in the Gap of Dunloe and Kerry again, what struck you here?
What struck me here is that, you know, we're still looking for old Ireland, right? The spirit is still there. What also struck me is that there were a lot of Americans sipping cappuccinos and lattes.
Yes.
As the jaunt car went by.
So a tale of two cultures.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Okay, closer to Dublin, we go to Wicklow now and to Bray. And this really struck. I was only in Bray quite recently, and I had no idea that this, what's it called, a chairlift?
Chairlift, yeah, exactly. And the remnants are still there.
Really?
You can still see there's a sort of a chair dangling off it.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't know that was there. It opened, I think, in '52 and was there for almost 20 years.
Okay. And again, you must have found an interesting spot to take this.
Yeah. I actually got that exact spot.
Yeah, good on you. And we move on then to Bangor Mountains in County Mayo. And again, what struck you about this, Paul?
I like this one a lot because it was a difficult one to take, to find.
Yes.
It was like finding a needle in a haystack. The only thing different in that photo is the markings on the road.
Okay.
I actually got the red car.
Did you not superimpose a red car?
No, I didn't. I had to wait.
Come on.
I was with my son,
Yeah.
Jensen, and we sort of clambered up this very wet, very grassy hillside, and we sort of perched the camera on the tripod, and we were surrounded by all these sheep, these black-faced mountain sheep, right? And we're city folk.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah.
And my son was saying, hang on a minute, they look rather threatening. You sure we're okay here? Oh yeah, we're fine.
But you're okay. And you waited for a red car.
Waited for a red car.
And you got the red car. Where are we going now? Keemstrand. What a beautiful beach. This Keemstrand and Achill again.
Yeah, it's one of the best places
I mean, it looks like something out of
and the water. And
National
I didn't
Geographic.
really enhance my photograph there of the water, and yet it just pops out.
And again, you were with your son.
With my son, in fact, my son Jensen is in that photograph.
He's down by the car
He
there,
is,
as the
yeah.
people are in the car in the original John Hine. What a nice thing to do with your son then. I mean, given that this is you and your dad's memories, and now you're with your son,
Yeah.
this is a
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah. It's a Lion King with a photograph with a camera. It's a gorgeous thing to do. Killybegs in Donegal, a gorgeous place.
Yeah, again, this is the John Hine image of Ireland: sunny skies.
But it doesn't have to be sunny to be beautiful in Ireland.
It doesn't have to be
Isn't
sunny.
that fair enough?
That's what that shows.
That's
yeah.
what's a beautiful
That's what
thing.
it says.
Now, this photograph is Dunmore East in County Waterford. We've been talking about this all night because the little boy on the wall. You went.
found him.
You found him. How did you find him?
Well, I actually parked the car, looked around, I think it's around here. I think that image is right here, and I noticed two men standing by my car next to the Bay Cafe,
Yes.
and I went up to them. The first two guys, I went up to,
Right.
and that's how I met them.
And you said, lads, I'm trying to do a
I'm
photograph.
doing here. Here's the postcard.
And he said,
Well, he wasn't there at the time. It was
Yeah.
his friend Dick was there, and he says, "Hang on a minute, I've got someone for you to meet."
okay. And he's in the audience tonight with us. His name is David Harris. And we've asked you, can anyone spot, and you'd honestly, you'd win a whole week away if you spotted David Harris then versus David Harris. Could David Harris please say hello to us and wave? There is the boy on the pier. Yeah. Well, you haven't aged a day. You've aged a few decades, but not a
Not
day.
moved too far either.
So can you recall that picture? Were you too young to remember what happened with this picture?
I can vaguely remember my grandfather had a caravan site just across the road from the picture. And we used to go there in the summers for our holidays from Waterford.
Yes.
And this man came into my mother, my cousins, etc., etc. We used to all play around. And this guy came in and he said to my mother, "Can I borrow one of your kids for a minute?
Oh,
To take a photograph."
good. Very trusting mother, yes.
So I was brought across the road and sat on the wall with my little toy. And I suppose the rest is history.
And that's and then when you met, of course,
Yeah, of course,
Paul
yeah.
and
It's
the
just
whole story.
nearly 60 years later.
And where do you live now?
4 children and 7 grandchildren.
Good. Where do you live now?
I live in Dunmore East.
Oh, so you moved in.
Yes, I'm in the Bay Cafe across the road, a little bit
So
further
you're
up.
living the John Hine dream.
I am indeed.
Yeah.
I am indeed.
And do you have this card somewhere in your life on a wall or framed or?
I actually have it in the cafe. I've got a blow up of it in the cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story. Thank you for
It's
being
an
our
iconic postcard.
thank you for being our Where's Wally. I say that respectfully. Where's Dave tonight? You're a good sport, and thanks for coming in to see us tonight. Paul, it's a beautiful story, and it's great to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. And this book is one of the most beautiful books I've seen this year. I think it'll be sent to a lot of family abroad in the next few weeks. So thank you for that. Very nice to see it. That's the book, ladies and gentlemen. All of these photographs featuring in this book. It's called Return to Sender by Paul Kelly, and that's in bookshops now. In the meantime, we wish you well, and thanks for coming to see us tonight. Paul Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Paul. Okay. Now, obviously, David, it's, the boy on the pier there, I'd like to you deserve a prize for being such a nice person and telling the story, and you lost your hair, everything. It was just, but you're not going to lose your shirt, and that's the most important thing. The 5-star Druids Glen Hotel and Golf Resort, which is part of the Neville Hotel Group, is located just 30 minutes from Dublin in stunning County Wicklow, which we talked about there. And this is a resort with a perfect woodland hideaway, with luxurious guest rooms, award-winning spa and health club, 2 AA rosé